Hello. Hi. I love watching sci fi movies, series, any kind of content that shows you what technology can do to the life that we know. So, one of the most popular series around it is Black Mirror, and it has had six successful seasons in the past. Six successful seasons. I have watched almost all the seasons. Um, and I recently, a couple of days ago, it struck my mind that maybe I can work on something. I can write short stories around these technological tweaks that we may have in future, a futuristic uh, prediction in technology that can alter our lives completely. I was thinking of such ideas. I hadn't written anything down, but cut to 3 days later, I open Netflix and I see there's Black Mirror season 7 on my face, trending as number ninth show in the entire country. And I was blown away. Look at the serendipity, right? I was thinking of rewatching the older episodes to get some more ideas, but here it is, a completely new season with fresh ideas on how far technology can go to alter the human experience. I've watched the first episode. I have a lot of thoughts about it, and here I am to share it with you. So, in the past, the first three seasons at least are mind blowing and groundbreaking. Every episode will give you a completely different dimension, an unimaginable society that we can end up in if we actually develop those technology. And it's not just about technology and how it can alter our productivity or how we commute or how much money we make. No, it also alters the brain chemistry and in turn it alters human relationships. And that's the whole fabric of the human society, how we build our relationships, right? And so that's the most powerful aspect even in technology, how it can give us a completely new experience. In the first episode of season 1, we see first we are confused because we see a completely normal society, a contemporary society where people are still working as construction workers. There's a lot of manual labor. Um, People are still working as teachers in the old fashioned way. They go to the classroom and they teach on maybe screens now, maybe a projected screen. But yeah, that's about it. You don't see any futuristic technology right away. But slowly you get to know what the catch is. So our protagonist is a couple. They are an old couple. They are a happy couple. The scene opens to them waking up early in the morning, to their alarm, to their reminder that it's their anniversary on that day. And they are very happy and they are looking back on their older days when they were even younger and happier. Slowly you get to know that they are trying to conceive a child. They visibly look old, so they must be in their early 40s somewhere. They are trying to make ends meet financially because you keep saying them you keep hearing them having discussions of how they're going to save up for their child and how they're going to manage their other expenses. But early on in in 15 minutes of the episode, you see that the woman, the wife, has a strange accident. She falls down in one of her classes, and later she's diagnosed with um, a, brain disability where one part of her brain has completely logged off. It's switched off, it doesn't work anymore, so she has lost all consciousness and she may never regain consciousness again. So at this point, the husband is in very much in despair. He's willing to do anything he does, and that's when this startup swoops in. The salesperson from a startup where which promises to introduce a revolutionary technology that can sustain a human even when they have lost part of their brain capability. That's groundbreaking, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not like you've not read about these things, about these works before, and you've seen glimpses of these, not glimpses, like full-fledged episodes on how you can perpetuate your existence even after death. In episodes like San Junipero, which is one of my favorites, and a couple of other episodes in Black Mirror before. So it's not a very novel idea, but yeah, you get the idea. It now brings in the, okay, let me tell you bit by bit. So the salesperson comes up with this magical solution to their problem. She says that the part of her brain that has been damaged, they can actually download all that information onto a cloud server and replace that brain part with a synthetic part, so that your uh, brain physiology doesn't alter. You still have your brain in your head intact like it used to, and then they can re-download that consciousness, that whole data of that human being, their eccentricities, their behavior, their memories, back to that synthetic part of the brain, and your human can function again normally. No changes noticed. The husband is clearly very delighted, and he wants to go in for it at whatever cost. That's when he asks, what is the cost of this? Of course, technology is going to cost you. She says, $300 a month. Wow, this is a subscription model. It's not a one time surgery like kidney transplant or anything. It's a subscription model because obviously they are using cloud servers to keep running their data forever. Just like Google does with our um, our data, right? They are charging us a fee, a monthly fee, to keep our memories alive on their servers as pictures, as documents, whatever you want. This is similar, but with human memories, with real memories. That's crazy. And he immediately figures out the math, how to. I don't know why they don't even earn $300 at this point, but clearly they are not financially well off. So they have to struggle a lot to even um, gather money for this subscription, $300 a month. He works overtime to keep his wife alive because his wife is all he has in his life. She is his purpose. He works overtime as his construction site. He's willing to go the extra mile and he's exhausted, but he's willing to work hard to just be able to see her another day. The downsides of this is the the wife or the person who has transplanted this synthetic brain inside them, they will have more downtime than a normal human because the servers need um, to sleep, to be in rest mode, to be able to function again. So instead of 8 hours, the human is going to be sleeping for maybe 10 hours or 11. That's what we see slowly. And then slowly, during the course of the episode, you know that there are going to be uncanny, this is like cheating, right? That's exactly what it's gonna make you nostalgic or bitterly nostalgic about how these big corporations have brought all of us under their grip, and they have made us their prisoners because they have gotten us hooked to their products, and now we can't get out without paying because our entire lives are surrounding their products. So he learns this woman slowly starts randomly speaking out ads through her mouth. Like in a conversation when they are having a coffee, uh, regular coffee, and someone says, okay, maybe we can upgrade to a better flavor of coffee or a variety of coffee. And she randomly says espresso grande, the best in class, the best variety of coffee that you can get, whatever, however ads run. And she doesn't even remember that she has spoken out an ad. And she randomly, like very annoyingly, every 5 minutes, she's gonna throw out ads without her consciousness, and the other person is confused. What are you even saying? She has even said offensive things like, to because she's a teacher, she has said um, offensive things to a boy who's going through a rough childhood because of their parents' divorce. So she blurts out an ad of a Christian consulting firm that's religious because the other guy is not Christian, I guess. And so she starts getting complaints from people around her for this annoying ad. And you feel like, oh my God, isn't this how we feel when we are watching some content, when we are watching some useful content and we are thrown with an annoying ad that we most likely do not need? It's invasion of privacy because they are listening to your intimate conversations, and they are trying to make money out of it. You feel cheated and betrayed. So they immediately go back to the salesperson who sold them that product and they ask, why are we getting this? And you immediately know, you as an audience know what she's going to say. Oh, you have to upgrade. We are upgrading. And if you don't want ads, you have to pay more. The price that they have to pay uh, to not have ads, annoying ads, is significantly higher. It's like 500 bucks more. So they are in for another shock, and they are in desperate need because the husband wants to keep the woman alive. Um, so he has no choice other than to resort to weird measures, like most drastic measures, risking his own life, his own reputation, his self image, just to be able to keep his wife alive, the love of his life alive. And this is how corporations are exploiting us based on our emotions. The most basic emotions, like love, when you know the person is going to be desperate enough to do anything, that's when they're exploiting us. Take the recent case of Indigo, when the Pahalgam attack happened, I was surprised at their inhumanity, that their unabashed act of raising the prices 5 times higher than the usual prices for people to return back home. It was selling around 65,000. And you start questioning everything, like, are they just here to make money out of crisis? Wow, this is where the world is heading. And so, coming back to the episode, you you see how desperate he is, and he starts selling. He resorts to very disreputable measures to make that extra money online. You can go watch that episode for yourself. There are other features in the common one. Like, they'll constantly remind you that, oh, you're still on the common, the most basic subscription plan, so you're not as valued as our premium customers. So they constantly remind you of your place in the hierarchy, right? Like, kind of like how we now have Agio Lux. Like, people who shop from Agio Lux are super wealthy, whereas people who shop from Agio, the basic one, are like your middle class people who want to do middle class things. It's how we are being divided, how we are being graded in every aspect of our life, right? So, oh, there's an interesting feature. Okay, forget it. I'll not give everything away, even though I have already. You know where this is going, right? the things become so extreme that they have to go back there for a third time, because now in the premium plan she's needing more downtime. She needs 12 hours of sleep, which is which is too much for a human to function normally, because she has to do a lot of things in her real life, right? You can't be sleeping, like, even though that is the ultimate goal of everyone, ultimate dream, to be sleeping as many hours as you want. She's not actually restful sleeping. This downtime is needed to recharge the servers, and her brain is actually being used or exploited, um, the downtime to use in other computing services of other servers. Imagine that. When all this is happening, this startup is scaling up to the entire world after having started from a limited area. Obviously, they have gathered, at this point you can see how confident the salesperson is, because they have gathered a lot of other such customers who are willing to pay desperately just to keep their loved ones alive. So they are exploiting uh, human despondency to scale up their business to make profit out of people who are, you know, now dead. It was a very interesting episode, and eventually you see the end to be a very, very depressing act, an act of defeat, where the husband eventually has to let go because he can't fight capitalism anymore. So he has to let go of his wife. He can't pay any more of these bills. And you can see there's no end to it. These corporations are going to keep asking you for more and more money. Like how Airtel has been increasing these telecom industries. They started off dirt cheap. They were literally selling unlimited data for free. And now that they have got the entire world at their fingertips, they are charging exorbitant rates, like almost 900 bucks for what? For a meager 84 days. What next? They're going to charge way higher going forward. So the husband sees this all coming, and he accepts defeat in front of capitalism. He kills his own wife, and then later he takes his own life. And that shows how we are all puppets in the hands of these big corporate giants. We all lose. The poor people lose. And it's only the rich who can have a shot at a respectable life. This is where the world might be heading. And that's sad. That's a stark reminder. And also a mirror to you that you actually cannot do anything about it. You actually cannot. Because you're part of that system. These startups provide employment to a lot of people by mooching off money off of someone else. Just think about it. It leaves you with a very dark thought, afterthought, and it's going to stay with you for a long time.